Royalties of peace, turning the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. How are you doing today? Yes, it is the second Wednesday of the month of September. It is September 13th of 2023. I bring to us our Water Day video. Yes, it is a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday. Yes, royalties of peace, turning the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace. Last video, the initial step onto serenity. The trying for us to understand the need to implement serenity this month. Understanding serenity is peace of mind. Peace of mind. Yes, you may be caught up with some battlefields that keep on enforcing themselves through. All we have is peace of mind, our reality. Must be able to pass the test by reversing every complicated back to uncomplicated without feeling dismay. We need not become of low self-esteem, of arrogance, of whatever complication that shows up. Who you are is the ability to overcome, meaning reverse the complicated back to upright. Like a 6, the number 6, you need to reverse it to number 9. Yes, September month. September month. I'm not saying June was not a beautiful month. We know June is vacation. June is the completion of the academic year presentation. September, our awareness of diagnosis seeking wellness. It's all about the beginning, the initial step onto the graduation. 9. 9. Why we see the month 9 instead of 6? Upside down. We are upside down. We are upside down. Is someone hearing me out there? September is June, and June is September. It's all about graduation. September and June are one. September and June are a one mind. They're one of mind. Battlefield free seeking. Battlefield free. The outcome. Have I pleaded for us to enable a bound goal? A goal with a bound time to be accomplished. Yes. A goal with a bound time. Must we be able to reflect? Let us reflect. Let us take time and reflect what we are missing of this journey, wondering why we're not able to accomplish what we already know. You know it's a glass of water, but you cannot pick it up. Some will tell you, I know very well that I'm thirsty, but I cannot drink. I'm trying to drink, but I cannot drink. Some will tell you, what you see is only the shadow of your reality. When you reach the place of awareness of diagnosis seeking wellness, the better side of you, of the physical, is only a shadow of the perfect that awaits, of greater enlightenment, of the mind. The flesh gracefully gives way. To some, the flesh brightens up when they are reaching their end of the journey of this complicated state. To others, the flesh is getting weaker, they will say. The wrinkly of the body is no different from the wrinkly of the baby's body. A brand new baby is wrinkly. Do not mistake aging, wrinkleness, for ruin. Such has been very common because of despair. Hearing from our seniors, struggling with understanding of what end of life of the complicated is. Begin to throw negativity upon themselves. And we picking them up after them, generation upon generation. Wrinkly, brand new baby. The unfolding of the baby. It's time for us to understand what aging is. True, you must not get wrinkly. After being used to the youthfulness of the body, when June comes before September, instead of September before June, it's a complicated way of looking at it. We are in a complicated state, must we remember. So we do not fail achieving integrity. I hope this is giving us some anointing to ponder upon. I hope this is refreshing unto us, traveling this road to wellness. Must the traveler know the difference between self and the journey? Do not become the journey, being the traveler, or you'll never reach the destination, waiting for one to travel you. Yes, when you're a master, waiting for someone to teach you, you better really take time and learn earliest possible, so you be not the journey too long. Many of us have found ourselves in such a position in life. Maybe all of us, even coming from the womb of a mother, like a student, needing to learn everything. Sometimes it gets very, very frustrating learning from adults because you know your master and they're telling you, you stop here, you stop there. It can be very, very frustrating because you know it's supposed to be free. You're supposed to be self-willed. You're supposed to be free to do what you want to do. And why is it even complicated? When you brought me in, didn't you know it was complicated to keep me out of it? It's very frustrating being a student. But I must say, it takes the earliest possible to recover, to cease from being a journey instead of the traveler. Now be you the traveler, be thee the traveler. We are the traveler of the journey. We must reach our destination, perfect peace. Yes, battlefield free of the mind. Every single one of us is asking for a battlefield free of the mind. Even the one that is silent. We're talking on your behalf. Will come out of the womb and testify. I have a mouth. I can speak for myself of if I am the traveler or the journey. The difference between the journey and the traveler. Of how you will speak when you become. Of one traveling the road will testify if you need assistance or not. But I still plead, and we still plead, the earliest you become the traveler, the better. So you become not so complicated and so grieved with despair at the end. such that when you are in the place of happiness and you're the only one in tears, you begin to wonder, where have you been? Everyone restored and you exhausted. Where have I been? Some acting like they are restored, blinded of the sight of complication, are still the journey, calling themselves the traveler. The need to reorientate all to wellness. It is time to restore. It is time to restore. This is September month, the month of serenity, the month of serenity, peace of mind. The initial step to achieve peace of mind takes the awareness of the diagnosis, the awareness of the complication, the awareness of the complicated state, the awareness of the traveler acting like a journey. Must quickly restore the earliest possible to modesty, not with low self-esteem, not with arrogance. Must remember it takes humble pride. It takes humble pride. Without humble pride, no matter how much harder you work of traveling this road, you only look like an asymptomatic instead of one symptomatic seeking wellness. True that there are asymptomatic who don't want to seek wellness, those struggling with complicated grief, not because they are in denial of wellness, but they're struggling with the complicated grief of how did I even become a journey? Impossible to accept that I'm a journey. Impossible. Impossible. You cannot make me accept that I'm a journey. I am the traveler. Yes, you come from my womb. No, no, no. I am not your baby. I am not your baby. Do not call me your baby. I don't care what the others call their mothers and fathers. Do not call me a baby. I am not a baby. But 1, 2, 3 steps, you stumble and you start crying. When you're struggling with your self mind and the physical, the complicated state that needs recovery, the need to distinguish between the two, the journey and the traveler. The mind is the traveler. The body we carry, the journey. I said in the last video that some will want to part from this world, the end stage of the complicated state of the ice age. I call this age the ice age, being solid, being able to touch and feel, the ice age. I hope we all get it. Our ice age, some finishing the ice age and still not comprehending the completion of the journey, may leave behind their body like water, may leave behind their body like fire, may leave behind their body like a new mountain, a new tree, a new creature. That is not done, must we remember. Some, they'll call them gods, half human, half other creatures. That is not their reality, but still a shadow for us to walk upon. If we have to rescue them, it's not to become of that nature, but enable the healing of that nature. Having an F on a paper does not mean that you are stupid. Does not mean that you come from another planet. Does not mean that you are from a different existence. We all come from one, perfect peace. We all come from integrity. Meeting someone with despair and anger and hate and so much wickedness, we say, rather, of so much weakness, of so much disbelief of becoming flesh when I am the word of all truth. I am battlefield free of the mind. How did I become of this state of seeing such existence, of being? There are so many kinds of trauma. There's so many kinds of reasons we have trauma. Because you find someone punching the other, because you call another a bully, does not mean they are a bully. When you say a bully, it should quickly run into your mind. A diagnosis. Must you be the doctor? must you be the doctor to encourage wellness? Even if you are not the doctor of all done, must be able to do your part. Like they say, to those who are certified CPR, CPR certified, those who are CPR certified, they are able to rescue people on the road who are unconscious, of suddenly unconscious. When you start, you have to continue until someone takes over. It's what they say. If you can't, don't start. But if you start, you have to keep on until someone takes over. And that would mean you performing the CPR at the same time calling for help. Being the first doctor at the scene does not mean all the work is yours. You must be able to call others that can assist. And that makes our role. The doctor is not only one, but our universal, which is why I keep pleading. Work upon yourself of within, and also be aware of the without, which is the universal. The outward of us is the universal. We must become of expected battlefield free. Does not mean that among these are not complications that are also working upon, which is why we must be able to work vigilantly. We must be vigilant of how we walk, understanding that we all must have a complication of a certain sort. Yes, our weaknesses may seem like nothing to them, of the greater they have. But of those who have left of the physical, of the solid age, the ice age, and gone into the liquid age or gaseous age, should be able to testify of how complicated it was when you were at the ice, when you were still in the ice age. When you are in elementary, it was difficult. Though now you are in college, you could be a professor, but you can tell what it was like being in kindergarten. It wasn't easy. That when you take a look at a kindergartner, it's a whole different story of a journey. Do not intimidate others. Try to seek dignity in all and provide dignity. Receive dignity and give back dignity. It is very, very important to be able to give back dignity. Yes, September, the month of serenity, a new academic year, have been pleading for us to acquire more knowledge, to fulfill integrity, serenity, serenity, peace of mind takes fullness of knowledge, knowledge of righteousness, knowledge of peace, full knowledge of well-being, not of complicated. Once you're full of the knowledge of wellness, all the complicated are solved. You are smart. You've made it into a program. You're smart. You've made it into an academic program. Your problem now may be, how do I maintain my eligibility? You must be conscious of those who have not and those who have. Knowledge. Knowledge. You've heard of the have and have not. Looking like two separate worlds, but they are a one world. They are a one big family. The professors, the teachers, the tutors, educating the students. It's not to keep the students forever, but the students to add up and become tutors. And when we all are colleagues, how great and complete we see our one big family. It's not a separation forever. Must be able to see the one big family. And seeing that end goal helps us to be able to work towards it. That is smartness. Yes, we must be able to understand why we are attending school, why we are starting a new academic year. Your ambition, your efforts, your aim, the results you desire must be of expected, must what it upload. It takes the beginning to see the end. Did I say your goal must be time bound? Your goal must be time bound. So you should work with efficiency than just sufficiency. To reach the destination, we need to work by efficiency and not only sufficiency. The earliest possible we can recover, the better. Having not does not mean you're poor, but rich is what you see. Must you be able to accomplish your expected? You're not meant to be poor. Enough of the classification of beings, of the made to be. Some would tell you it was predestined. You might have heard of some were born great, some achieved greatness, some it been trusted upon them. This is a complicated point of view of today, of greater understanding of us. We understand we're born great. It's not a privilege, but a right. Falling short does not make you short of your true identity. Being sick or being a patient does not deprive you from being an individual. You still maintain your name. A medical doctor sick is still called doctor, even when attended to. Doctor, these are your pills. But yet, to the doctor is a reminder of a doctor should not be sick. meaning sickness is not part of us. Short of knowledge is not part of us. We must be able to erase sickness. We must be able to erase weakness. And it takes academics. It takes understanding fullness of knowledge. Of our differences, we must be able to become the universal. Going with the basics of us, it grows into a tree. And we recover from the complicated state of our being. Ice, liquid, and gas. Ice meaning the complicated state. Liquid meaning the mixture of the complicated and the uncomplicated, and the gaseous state, the uncomplicated state. None is perfect of state, of so many divisions. Yet our end goal is the perfect of uncomplicated. It takes acquiring knowledge to become effective of every stage. And every step merits its accomplishment. To be cherished. I hope this academic year helps us to really improve on how we go after results, accomplishments. No, it's not only about a career, but integrity. Integrity, serenity of the mind. It's about the universal, not just self. The universal riches is all rich. When you're rich alone, it should be a question. Become the have to the have-nots. Become the teacher, the professors, to the students. Give them knowledge and fall not short of knowledge. When you're a professor teaching, you never run short of knowledge. You instead become of greater of self of every time you teach. You become even more productive of the material. That is how it's supposed to be with wealth. Let us reflect on what we are missing out with achieving wealth if expected. Comparing it with knowledge. Wealth and knowledge. Wealth. Knowledge is health. Tell wealth. Knowledge is wealth. Tell wealth. Knowledge is health. Tell wealth. Knowledge is health. I hope you've understood what I'm trying to implement here of this journey of peace in the storm back to peace that has no storm looking unto perfect peace. I will let us now to digest of the mind and apply it to the right sources of the body, of our existence, to be nourished and maintained. Like what the GI system does to every part of the body to maintain. No impairedness. Being not impaired, but of fullness of knowledge of every existence of us. I don't know how far your existence is. And you might not know how far mine is. Yet we receive the same nourishment and should be able to nourish every part of us. You could be of kingdoms, and I could be of just one kingdom. You could be of a family of 10, and I a family of 3. We must be able to have the right nutrition for all. Be not impaired. Let us heal of fullness of knowledge recovery to wellness perfect. I hope this video today helps us to reflect carefully concerning this road we are traveling of the ice age. Should not even see the liquid age, but reach the gaseous of perfect. Because the liquid stage is cleaning out. Let's not be the ones to make a new one. Thank you all for listening. Peace steals the storm back to peace that has no storm. Looking unto perfect peace. Serenity, man. Serenity. It's all about serenity. Peace of mind.